As I took a look around, I noticed that everyone is staring at me. Should I tell them about what happened? No, I'll just make them worry over nothing. I'm sure that I must only be having some small trouble adjusting my perspective after all those time when the ether forced my consciousness to go back and forth between the earthen and ethereal planes. If I give it one more day, the sensation will probably go away by itself. It has to. That's a bad idea, but okay. No, it's nothing, I say. I was just testing some flight maneuvers and messed up a little. All good. Well, don't try anything too dangerous, Melinda says. There are some really oddly shaped rooftops below. You wouldn't want to crash into any of those, trust me. Well, I'll try to be more careful, I say, and then I start to follow Melindra through the sky again along with the others. We continue our journey for a while longer, and during this time, the sensation of my consciousness switching between planes does not happen to me anymore. It's fine, I have this under control. A few seconds here and there of going back to the ethereal plane is not that big of a deal. I'll only start worrying if things get worse. Before I get the time to think about this any longer, Melindra tells us that we have arrived at our destination. She signals us to land in front of a very old looking building. Unlike all the other buildings with crazy designs made by Billy Bob, this particular house looks refreshingly simple, just like any other house that you'd expect to see inside a city. Oh good, Melindra says. Once we're all on the ground, the old house is still here. I was a little worried that they might have demolished it by now. Okay, let's go inside. I'll show you how to open the message with a passage to the ruins below. Ruins? Flower asked, confused. As we are now entering the building, I thought you said that the puzzle piece was supposed to be inside the house. No, Melindra says. What I told you was that you need to go inside the abandoned building in order to get to the puzzle piece. I never said that it was hidden in the building itself. Anyway, it's just some lousy ruin. I already know where some which levers we need to pull, so it will be over in a few minutes. Don't worry about it. But if you remember the levers wrong, Kate asks her. I'm not remembering them wrong, Melindra says as she presses on a few stones on the ground in quick succession. I've already done this a few times before, so I know exactly what I'm doing. Just as she was done talking, the middle of the floor opens itself, revealing a hidden staircase to us. See, Melindra says, I told you that I know what I'm doing. Alright, now we need to take these stairs all the way down. Come on. I've never seen any form of media where there are traps on the staircase other than a falling boulder. You know how they were, any media, manga, anime, any TV show or anything like that. Whenever they're in a hallway, there's a specific stone where you put your foot down and there's like arrows, maybe the floor gives way and there's spikes underneath, something like that in games too. But I've never seen like any trap on a case. Like let's say there's a spiral staircase, right, and you go down it. The only trap I've ever seen is like a boulder coming down, I think in Dark Souls, but that's about it. There's usually no traps. There's like you don't like put your foot down on a staircase and the staircase, that specific stone goes down and something else happens. No, actually I do remember one more thing. There's another one where the staircase becomes a slide and they just slide down, and that's these two are the only traps I've ever seen on a staircase, as far as I can remember at the moment. I don't know why that's relevant or why am I thinking about that, but that is what I'm thinking about. See, Melinda told you. Melinda says, I told you that I know what I'm doing. Alright, now we need to take these stairs all the way down. Come on. Are there any blue crystals down there, or do we need some light? Flower asks Melinda as we begin to descend the stairs. No, there are no crystals as far as I recall, Melinda says, but I think there are some torches that we can light. Gotcha. Flower says as she conjures 3 small balls of flame. I don't think that's a good idea. Going down into quote-unquote ruins. These places can have gas in them from dead and decomposing stuff. But alright. Well, I suppose lighting a fire would be good. At least we will know that how high the carbon dioxide is, if the fire goes out. But then again, it's magical fire, so maybe it won't go out. Regardless. I think there are some torches we can light. Gotcha, flaming balls float next to us so that we can see where we're going. Once we reach the ruins below, Flower uses her balls of fire to light all the torches on the wall, and then she makes her magic flames disappear. Oh, there's a lot of levers, Flower says when she gets a good look at the corridor walls. Okay, pay attention, Melindra says. There's a very specific order in which these levers need to be pulled, with some waiting times in between. I will handle all of it, but when I get to the final lever, whoever wants a puzzle piece will need to stand over there by the wall, because the puzzle piece dispenser will only be available for a short time. Got it? Got it, Flower says. Good, says Melindra. Here I go then. As promised, Melindra goes to pull down several of the levers that are on the wall. Once she is done, she comes back to us. Alright, now we need to wait for about a minute or so, Melindra says. Right, Flower tells her. After Flower says this, there's an awkward silence for about 10 seconds, during which none of us lets out a single word. You know, Barry, Melindra says out of the blue as she turns towards me, there's something I've been meaning to ask you for a while. Is it just me, or is Layla under the impression that the two of us are a couple? No, it's not just you, I say. When I first met her father, she very clearly told him that you and I were in a relationship, so it's pretty obvious that this is the impression we've given her. But why would she think that? Melindra asked, looking genuinely confused. Is it because we have had sex? Alright, this is definitely my playthrough then, because we did do that. I imagine that, and it was garbage too. You wanna know something? It was literal doo-doo. Like, because I was used to what was that show called, medieval fantasy scenes. They go into like fair bit of detail, to the point one of my episodes have been removed from YouTube because of oh, this is explicit, why would you upload this, even though there's like nothing in that chapter much. But like, I literally appealed to YouTube one time and I was like, it's literally just written things, I'm reading stuff. Like, I don't know why this is such a big deal, but apparently YouTube literally wants to, like, there's YouTube Kids for a reason, right? Like, what's the point of YouTube Kids if normal YouTube doesn't even allow me to read something? It's not like I'm reading straight smut. It's not like I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey on this channel, right? I'm literally reading an action interactive novel, and there's one scene in the middle, and I read it in like a male voice too, and it's like, for some reason that's like, oh, that's awful, how dare you. I actually had to take a course on that, like, oh, you know, you need to know what's okay and what's not okay. I'll make another video of that separately. I imagine that this would probably be the main reason. Yes, I answer her. Melindra says. She then pauses to ponder on my words for a few seconds before she continues. Listen, she tells me, I've got nothing against you, it's just that, you know, it's kind of been my policy for a very long time to not get too attached to people, since I always end up outliving them and then they leave me behind. It really is nothing personal. Sure, don't worry about it, I say. Once more, there is a short period of time in which nobody says anything. 1 minute has not passed. Actually, there was this one time many years ago, Melindra says, after thinking over for a few more seconds. I used to travel with a male friend for a few years, and we were sort of in a relationship, but not really. We would share a tent, we would spend most of our time together, but there were no attachments. We had a rule that we wouldn't be getting together with anyone else during this time, but that sounds like a relationship though. But that was it, no other obligations. Isn't that literally the definition of a relationship? Though, I ask her. No, Melindra says, maybe a little too loudly. It's not. There were no other strings attached. We could walk out on each other any day. There would be no hard feelings between us. We even remained friends for a long time after we stopped seeing each other. It wasn't a bad arrangement, now that I think about it. Pauses again. So, would you like something like that? Melindra asks you as she is looking straight into your eyes. You mean you and me? I say, trying to make sure that I fully understand. What is she implying? Traveling together, sharing a tent, no strings attached? Yes, Melindra says simply as she is still waiting for my answer. Now keep in mind, this is not the perfect playthrough, and in that one, I'm gonna save every time a relationship pops up. I think the first one it pops up in, and then here. So in my playthrough, I'm declining all of it because I want to see the raw story without getting involved in any romantic stuff, because no, it's not like I'm against it. I really do want to see what happens when you get into a relationship in this game. The problem is, like, if I get into a relationship, I will not be seeing other relationship options as we move forward, because like if I deny her here, if I agree to it, Layla will never hit on us eventually. But if I deny her here, I will see Layla's dialogue, and then eventually, what's her name? Kate's dialogue. I do want to see that, and that's why I've been denying these. And also, if I agree to them, then I also have to track what little dialogue changes happen here and there, which I do want to see. So because I've deleted my perfect playthrough accidentally, so when I play this on my own, obviously, I will save them separately so that I can keep track of these relationship, quote unquote, and I will show you the alternate timeline as we go about. So she's still waiting for my answer, but yeah, Melindra is clearly implying a relationship, but no, we'll decline for now. To be honest, I'm not sure if this type of relationship is really what I'm looking for, I say. Alright, suit yourself, Melindra says while shrugging. No hard feelings, right? I say. None whatsoever, she says. Then she goes to pull on another lever.